Okay. Hello, hello, and welcome. We have the lovely Rita here today. Welcome, Rita.
Hello.
This is the Becoming Love mini podcast series.
Mm,
And today, Rita and I are going to speak a little bit about our experience as parents, as mothers, because so much
mm,
of our personal growth is reflected and catapulted by our children.
mm.
There's a really yes, there's a deep connection between those things, and I feel like I was laughing at myself recently when I was thinking about the idea of like a teachable moment, and um, and then just really feeling into the fact that every moment that my children are witnessing me is a teachable moment. It's not about, carving out those specific little things. It's like they are watching me, they're hearing me, they're witnessing me in the way that I show up and the choices that I make, and that it's really about what I embody, about the presence that I embody. That's really the teachable moments. And I know I was yeah, share your reflections because we were
I
chatting a little
love
bit
that.
about this.
I love that. Just sounds. Uh, I am like feeling all of the words you're saying, and they make sense to me on so many levels because it's been the work I've embarked on so deeply. Doing, deciding, making the choice to homeschool and be in this space with my children brought forward so much inner work and embodied work within myself that I realized over time that that was really the gift that I was giving them was this presence. And I
Mhm,
think that uh, it becomes an incredible moment in that journey when you can really decide to make choices to continue your inner work and you see the landscape of how it will impact your children and um, you feel the passion and the drive and the excitement of how that's going to weave together and then get to points where you see it shine back.
mhm,
And I
mm.
was telling you about this experience with one of my kids that I was in recently, where he was able to reflect to me how he observed an experience with his younger brother, and his younger brother being in a vulnerable place. And he was able to say, how are we going to move forward with this, Mom? How do you want to be here? This is what we've done before. I don't know if this works so well. And what about this? And can we stay here? And in that moment, I felt so supported, also like from this like reciprocal, like you're a human, I'm a human place, like we're a team. But then also I recognized as his mother, as his parent, as somebody who is like embodying a way of being, that he was reflecting to me what I had hoped I was
Mhm.
gifting him through my presence. And it was those moments um, are just incredible to experience. And
Yes.
I just yes, found a lot of joy in reflecting and ruminating on that moment as such a gift of clarity of the work and the beingness and the becoming love
Mm.
uh, way of walking together showed to me something different in that moment, like a new level.
Yeah. I remember you speaking to that experience, and yes, you were in awe and like feeling so supported, and I was so seeing you in that moment, right? That like obviously you are the one who has embodied that, and that's how they learn.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing and being here
Thank you.
and
Thank you, boys.
bringing their swirly energy.
I know we couldn't speak about them without them being
Right, that
part
they
of this.
heard us. They heard us,
Yes.
and yeah,
Because
it's
we are honoring them for being part of this co-creation, quite
yeah,
literally. So
literally. I don't think
they
we can avoid that part. Sometimes I'm just like, how's this gonna go? I realize I get myself into this. I'm like, okay, now they're in this space. I have to like reorganize
yes.
my,
Maintain
my
my
mind.
presence and my focus, maybe let go
Yeah,
of some expectations
yeah,
and
it's hilarious. And like, what is here? What do they want to share?
right?
What is happening? I
Oh,
know.
I love that. Well, and that's one of the I mean, that is one of the pieces I feel like my kids are like you were speaking to, like the reflection, like the one of the clearest mirrors for me. And I don't know if I would be on this path like if had I not had kids. Just I guess I started this like inner work really when I had when the kids were young, so like 11 years ago. And yeah, it is beautiful to have them as part of the co-creation. um and it's beautiful to like you said, you were saying, to witness those moments where they reflect back from you what you hoped that they would be receiving. And then sometimes it's the other way, that it's like they are reflecting where I can still grow. And
Mm.
yeah,
And
and
that's
it's
like too, it's so beautiful, right?
yeah,
It's if
yeah,
you can come to it with love and notice that from a place
yes.
of curious growth, then how how juicy is that piece? It's even that's so
Yeah. I mean, yeah, now I'm so appreciative.
yeah.
And it really I admire them, like on their and I acknowledge their journey, that they are here. This is something you and I talk about a lot, right? Like acknowledging that they are unique souls, aspects of consciousness that have chosen to come here for unique experiences. And as much as we play the role of their mother and their parent, we also don't own them. It is not our job to like control them, and we have to practice non-attachment so much
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
able to guide them and allow them to learn through their own
Mhm.
experience and choices.
Very much so. I feel like one of those really overlaying pieces of the work of looking at your ego and those and beliefs that you've had and like um, receiving it and working at the integration of interpreting things from a loving point of view that's more expanded is that awareness of recognizing that these children in or in our world are going to want to have their own experiences, and us being able to um, give them space to have that experience while still maintaining authentic to ourselves is so powerful. So often, I don't know if you should say, but like it has been an approach that a lot of people have attached to where it's like, this is how I am, and I must um, give my children that same exact experience. And I feel like when I've tapped into that, it comes from like a really controlling point of view on my own, on my like on our part as the parent, and
Mhm.
being able to widen to a place where you're able to discern the difference between like living a harmonized, healthy, balanced lifestyle or beingness, and also making space for kids to have experiences with things that we may from a different like from an evolved level know is may cause some dissonance or in like
Might be
a bumpy
bumpy
experience,
road.
or
Yeah.
might yeah, they may, they that acknowledging that part of their journey is most likely that they need to experience it, but how beautiful can it be for them to experience it in a nurturing space where they can constantly reflect and discern
Mhm.
and be asked really good questions about
Mm.
their experience. How different is that from then just being told that you need to be some way,
Yeah.
or or not being um, heard or felt like you're being able to um, really think about your choice and maybe make a new choice
Mhm.
with love and respect and like a sense of trust
Mhm.
underpinning that whole thing. So I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest things that has moved me forward in my journey with my children, and then in turn enabled me to practice letting go of attachment and control and beliefs and stories, and in turn many ego programs that
Mhm.
you wouldn't even know are there, that maybe under the surface are so subconsciously connected to our
Oh,
our
yeah.
culture, or which in
Yeah.
the end are such significant ones actually, but
Mhm.
sometimes really sneaky, especially if you have shifted a lot of your practices to become what you feel is like a healthier version of yourself, I think.
Yes.
So it's this beautiful dance, and children often bring that forward because they are souls wanting to have like this full experience, right? And
Yes.
knowing the balance there and being able to discern that made things a lot more relaxing, which
Mm.
which I think then brings more spaciousness to have growth occur within yourself as the parent,
Mhm.
be able to
Yeah.
witness things and
Yeah.
then bring in other things that are even maybe more like um, impactful on different levels, like that may be related to like behavior, or
Yeah.
you know feeling triggered by certain things,
Yeah.
right? All that juicy beautiful stuff, I think,
Yeah.
first comes from being able to let go of having your children needing to be a reflection of you, ironically, because in the in not the end but over time, what I've come to recognize is that they end up being able to become discerning individuals who then can embody the best version of
Ye
you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You even need support
Yes.
in moments. You need to be reminded, and they
Yes.
become that reciprocal person in a
Mhm.
relationship with you, as opposed to any hierarchical version of anything.
Yeah. And you know what? On this piece of like this co-creation and reciprocal relationship, it reminds me of like experiences that I have had with my kids. Um, Really like the way that we communicate non-physically, and how I can set an intention for something and they show up and respond. And one that was a fairly big one was around this whole piece of like wanting to my intention. I had heard about an experience, a course, and what really hit home for me was that this was about, helping kids develop an inner compass, and that they learn to discern, right? And that was really impactful. That was really important for me. And so that was the intention that I set. That was what I wanted to. That was the experience I wanted to be able to, for all of us to walk through. And I had a vision, or I thought it was going to look a certain way. And it
Mm,
ended up that that way wasn't aligned. I kind of like I applied for the course, and then some things just didn't align. But this is within like a week, I think. And then my kids, there was a big orchestration that happened, and my kids both came home and said, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be treated like that. This doesn't feel good. And it's been a big thing that we're moving through, but I realized that they were essentially responding to or co-creating like this intention that I had set.
mm,
Was like, maybe I didn't need to do that course, but like I just have to have the intention to create a space for them where they can learn to trust themselves, and where they can learn discernment, and where they can be heard, and we can move through these things. And right. And so they showed up and like it's happening, and it's happening not in a course, it's happening in our day-to-day life, which
Mhm.
is brilliant and challenging. And
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
much growth is occurring. Yeah.
Isn't it so incredible? Like, I love that. Like, the way that it's like, it's so simple. It's the intention. And
Hmm.
if we can um, become more used to recognizing that we're not going to know what it's going to look like. I mean, I totally can
Yeah.
relate to that with many things, like unfolding with the kids, being with them through the day, doing various types of learning and growth and beingness together. It's never what I think it's going to look like. And that's like the most constant thing, is that it's like,
Right.
what is this going to look like?
Yeah.
Who's going to gravitate towards this? Who's not? What's going to evolve from this? And it's just, it goes back to that simplicity of like the intention, and then paying attention,
Mm.
and then allowing it to unfold and
Yeah.
receiving messages, and creating this as parents, as like way showers, as like these you know beings who are able to nurture, because I feel that within me so deeply, that that's part of my purpose, is
Hmm.
to create, to nurture through creating the foundational space to just be.
Yeah.
And it
You
doesn't
know,
matter what it looks like.
yeah. Yeah. You know what you're reminding me of when you speak to that, like to this nurturing, loving space. I feel like over the years, when I am doing like process work, my like inner work, I feel like in meditation, I often, um, when I'm meeting certain parts of myself, or yeah, like I feel like I'm in the presence of this loving energy, like the sensations that I have. It's hard to describe in words, but how I kind of describe it or liken it to, like, it's like a mother or a grandmother. And it's that space that, like, when I'm going through stuff, I feel held in that space, in that energy, in that lovingness, right? That like non-judgmental um acceptance and truth. And so it's beautiful, because I feel like what you're speaking to is that, like, your intention is to create that here for them. And I feel like when we have that space, that is like what feels like a safe space to explore everything. So whether it's
Hmm.
kids learning here in this physical matter reality, or whether it's us doing some deep work and meeting some parts of ourselves that may be uncomfortable, it's like that spaciousness and that loving energy is what kind of provides the container.
Yeah, right. And so many things are going to come up into that container. And so,
Yes.
coming from the point of view where it's as the human being you are, as the being, um, making it making your space with your children comfortable for you is very important. Cannot forget that, how integral it is for us to feel um, these senses of like uh, peace that we get when we're in meditation, or when we have connected to source the way we have been called to or drawn to. Being able to establish nuances and pieces of that in our foundation when we're with our children is so integral. We can't separate this. We can't keep it separate, because if we keep things too separated, then the foundations are not going to feel as authentic for us, which then allows us to hold that more sturdy, even
Mhm.
when, and what wants to come to me, it's like, even when it's like you're um, being with maybe your child, that is um, being in an energy that is not as comfortable for you. So that's why that foundation is so integral. Not to say that you're going to be able to maintain that then, but that you know you can fall back at it. You know what your baseline, your comfort, your foundation is, so that you can step into that realm with that child where they may need to be very, for me, it would be like it's very nurturing to be um, calm and have like a quieter tone. Like that is just my natural. But if I'm around one of my kids that is wanting to be really loud and expressive, I gotta get there sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? And to do that, I've found is knowing that underneath that is safe for me. And
Mhm.
again, what is that model to them? That they will be able to navigate anything in the world, hypothetically, right? Like they're going to be able to go out into different environments, but as long as they understand that their foundation of who they are is important and
Mhm.
valued and most essential, they will be able to go here and there and then be able to come back and reflect,
Yes.
digest what has just happened, or also and serve in those ways where they may feel that called to. And
Yeah.
then we get to experience that with our kids. I think we get to dabble into different energies that we
Oh, yeah.
may don't choose to outside our family. And that's
Yes.
a beautiful thing because it's allowing us a different experience, and it's allowing us
All the
to
time.
be reflecting back to that person. um, the more and more we can speak to it authentically, um, and from our own felt sense, we are teaching them how to navigate themselves through the whatever form of reality they want to exist in outside of this nest that they
Yeah.
experience, which is that
Yes.
you're saying too when you're talking about moving through these experiences with the girls, and them being able to really speak to what they want. It was like that intention really, the foundation that was set allowed them to really feel like they could say, well, this is actually
Right.
this way, I'm feeling this, and being able to embody that is so like
Yeah.
really powerful, really powerful.
Yeah. And it does really come back to, I feel, us doing our own work, because when
Mhm.
we're showing up in that space of like embodied in this loving presence
Mhm.
for them, then they feel safe to express, right? And sometimes we meet each other in different vibrations, right? There's different levels of intensity for various reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that is like my, and even with something going on that like involved, other adults, other influences, and my kids. And I was, I think that I could have chosen to want to take more action, and I felt like that was more controlling and from a place of fear. And when I recognized that, again, it was like this piece that just came through, that like really all I have to do is just embody authentically, like, my intention to be love, and they will always come back home to that. Like no matter what they experience, it's like all I can do is be that for me. And then oftentimes they can go out and explore and interact with other things, other energies, other dynamics, and then can come back to that, and they can discern,
Mhm.
and there's no controlling there. It's just, yes, it's serving. So it's serving everyone, right? Like it's serving me to do my own inner work, and it's serving them and everyone that interacts
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, I've always been
Yeah.
so aware that the depth of my inner work is really um, setting a tone for the kids or any person around you. Right?
Yes.
You get
Yes.
to become that frequency wherever you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and there, it's one of those things that if you know that this is like where you are in your experience, then it's such a it's a I was going to say comforting, but it's also very expanding to, like, it's an interesting way to look at it and to view that you recognize that this is serving, this
Mm-hmm.
is serving your growth, you are giving data back to the larger consciousness
Mhm.
system, and you are also transmitting
Mhm.
every person, and specifically your children, are evolving through your evolution.
Mhm.
And, you know, I would say that they signed up to be your
Yeah.
children and they knew. And so they're just like, oftentimes, especially if things get really wobbly, it's because they're just nudging you, saying, like, come on, I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready for this ride to get to that
Yeah.
next level. Like, let's do
Yeah.
it. And that's a fun thing, I think,
Yeah.
to recognize it from that point of view. I find myself enjoying that, being able to see it,
Yes.
that leveling up is serving us all, and we're here for it, and our children are are here to remind us of that oftentimes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. I love that. Yeah, I feel like this is a good place to wrap it up for today.
Mhm.
And I would love to chat more about like emotional intelligence and that kind of work that we're doing. But like, yeah, the way that we engage not only by embodying, but other ways that
Mm.
we share that through different experiences with our kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's so fun. It is such a good reminder, right? That whenever we can lean into like a playful uh reminder of something when something's challenging, it's like, oh, right, like they are here. They are here for this. They likely chose this family, this, right? This
Mhm.
experience. And
Yeah.
they're like, come on, let's do this. We can get to the next level.
Yeah, right. It is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. And
Meant
it
to
is, it's
be.
interesting witnessing them. Sorry, one last piece, because I've just been witnessing them playing like a Pokemon game recently and like witnessing them go through the things of like the little like fears that they encounter in video games and then like
Mm.
how they choose to like navigate moving through them. It's just it's so interesting. You're like, okay, yeah, it's like this is a game
Creating,
too.
making more opportunity. I know. I love the concept of games and video games. That could be a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the reflection we get to use that as a tool to talk about
Yeah.
this virtual reality as being a game. It's actually like couldn't be a better tool to use.
Yeah.
Um and I mean we could talk about so many
Yeah,
aspects of it, but
that's another
yeah,
so that's another call.
another call.
More about, yeah, the video game, the virtual reality simulation
Mhm.
concept and how we can speak to that, especially with kids. And then we'll talk more about emotional intelligence.
Yeah, beautiful topic.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing up with your loving presence today and for sharing all of your wisdom.
I love being here.
Thank you.
Me
All right.
too.
Well, until next time, take care, everyone. Ciao, ciao.